On today's episode of Let's Grow Together, I am sharing one of the fundamental pieces of my success and future success because this strategy will absolutely never end. It will always be one of the most effective things that you can ever do for your life and business. Now, what do I mean? Well, we're going to have to dive in for you to find out. But first, the intro. Welcome to Let's Grow Together. My name is Nick Monotadovus, motivational speaker and digital marketing strategist. And this podcast is all about helping you grow both in life and business. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to talk about this because this is something that's super impactful for me because it's just made such an amazing and incredible impact on my life, but it didn't happen overnight. And I feel like that is one of the most fundamental pieces of this, in that it came with time, it came from consistency, it came from discipline of just consistently wanting to do this. And so you may have heard this quote before. When I first heard it, it was from Tony Robbins, and he said, "You are the average of the five people that you spend the most time with." Now, ironically, I found out later that, Jim Rohn had said it, and then, you know, I think Napoleon Hill said it before him, and so on and so forth. So this has been going on for so long where people are talking about this. I mean, in Think and Grow Rich, it's, one of the fundamental classics. It talks about masterminding and surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded, that are smart in different areas that you are not, to help you to figure out these different pieces. But what I think is so fascinating for me when I first heard this, I thought, no, no, I don't want to do this. That means that I got to give up all my friends, my friends that aren't really entrepreneurs, savvy, or looking to read personal development books. And I thought that meant giving that up. And that was the first thing that was really big for me, was that it wasn't necessarily giving that up. And I still have amazing relationships and friendships with plenty of people, family and friends, that don't necessarily think the same way. They're not entrepreneurs. They're not, reading personal development books like I am, have this kind of obsession with personal growth, and the show Let's Grow Together. But what I found was so impactful is, when I started to actually do it. And the thing that really helped me at first when I was first getting started is that I didn't know a lot of people. I didn't know, I was like, how do I surround myself with these people? How do I even go about doing this? And it was really Tim Ferriss who first said something. I don't know if it was his book, The 4 Hour Work Week, if he talks about it in that, or if it was on his podcast, but which is called the Tim Ferriss Show. But he mentioned that the people that you surround yourself with can also be influencers, books, authors, podcasts. And so that was where I started. I just became obsessed with surrounding myself with these people and these influencers. I started changing my social media, who I was following. I'm very strategic and specific about who it is that I follow. I only have 600 followers, and I try and keep to that number of how many people that I'm following. Again, because I want that to be very influential for me. And now that 600 is composed of so many amazing and incredible people, that are doing more, that are being more, that are showing up, that have businesses, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But what I think was so cool again is like the progression that I had through this process, the progression of how I went from, it started with just reading these books. And then, I was talking about these types of things. And one of my friends from college actually reached out to me, and we got together. It was like, hey, great, let's connect. And so we started, he had these ideas of growing and building a business for himself. And so, I was able to connect, and we were able to talk, and it was great. I had somebody that we could mesh with, that we could talk about what we were working on and what we were doing. And at the time, he was still working for a company. I was still working for the company that I used to work for. And so during this time, there was an opportunity to go to an event. It was called the National Achievers Conference, and there was a ton of headliner speakers. The top ones being Gary Vaynerchuk and Tony Robbins, and then they even had Nick Foles and Doug Peterson, which was, it was in Philadelphia, so it was like right after they won the Super Bowl, which was pretty cool. And so what ended up happening was I went with my friend Brian, and because he had mentioned he was going, I took off work, like I vacation days, limited amount of vacation days, and I took that time off to go to this National Achievers Conference to surround myself with people that wanted to do more and be more. And here I was in this massive room, so many people, and this was really my first conference of like being on my own, not for like a company, or an event that we were running. When I was working for Hurricane, we were running our own conferences. So for me, I still was like a little iffy. Like I wanted to meet people and I was eager, but I definitely could have done a better job. But what ended up happening was Brian introduced me to his friend Bill. And then he had Bill's friend James was also there. And so the reason why I bring up these names is because this National Achievers Conference set so many things in motion, so many things through this one event. So, not to mention, one, the event was amazing. I mean, hearing Tony Robbins for the first time was absolutely incredible. We're like screaming, like jumping up and down, yelling, like, I mean, just the most incredible thing. And I look forward to going to a Tony Robbins event, hopefully soon when, COVID and we can start going to big live massive events again soon, because conferences to me, it's less about the education and more about meeting and connecting with more people, and I'll get to more of that and how this has continued. So here I paid to go to this event on my vacation, but I was able to meet Bill and James. And so what ended up happening was, I connected with them on social media, and then I just kept engaging and commenting on some of their stuff. And eventually James was kind of like, all right, what's the deal with this guy? I just want to like learn more about what he's doing. And so James invites me down to his apartment to just like apartment lobby, and we just hang out and have coffee and just talk. And so, I think it was like a Sunday night or something of that sort. And so we meet up and just immediately connect because again, he's got all these ideas, all of these plans. He wants to start this law firm, and right now he's working for another company where he's helping market the law firms. So he has all this experience, but again, it's just still in this phase of wanting to build this business for himself, naturally. And so through this process, me and him just become closer and closer, and we start having more conversations. We start going on some runs together. I ended up actually making a video for him at one point. But what was so cool is that we just started to connect and engage with each other's stuff. And so through this process, he started sharing some content on social media. Some time passed and he's like, hey, do you want to be part of or no, he put out a social media video and was like, hey, I'm looking to put together a mastermind group, and I was wondering if anyone was interested. And of course, I reached out to him. I would love to. And he's like, you were already top of mind. You were already the first person. Like, I knew that you would be down to join this group. And so me, him, and two other people joined together, and we met up in this like, conference room, workspace that we were able to connect and meet. And what's so funny is that when we were in that room, the four of us were all in different places than we are now. Myself, I was still working full time for Hurricane. James was still working full time for the marketing company. And then Regina, who's going to be on the show in the next couple of weeks, you'll see. She was working for a law firm also, and she wanted to launch coaching business. And so, like, between all of us, oh, and then my other friend, he was working for his parents' family owned energy bar or granola bar business, and he had goals of doing something more. Steve was wanted to do something more in the coaching arena. And so between the four of us, we're masterminding, we're talking, and we just started kind of laying it out, explaining our stories. I mean, we spent like almost the whole day talking about what we wanted to do and what the next steps were.
and kind of just like, I was talking about wanting to make a course, and I was debating whether or not I should make the course for myself or make it for Hurricane at the time, which obviously the decision was to make it for myself, but that was not an easy decision. That's a whole nother topic, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about that in previous episodes. But for me, that was like the starting point of being in this group, being with these other people where we're talking about books, and we were pulling out our journals, and we're talking about all these different things. But what's so cool to see, and we ended up having another meeting, and then it kind of fell off, and we didn't really continue those meetings. But what ended up happening is it just spiraled the growth and development of each of us. So even though that mastermind didn't continue and we didn't continue to have those meetings, my friend James launched this insanely successful law firm. He's like absolutely crushing it. He's gone on, like, he's like flying on private jets, like just the real deal. Just was able to grow his business to massive levels that has just been truly incredible and inspiring. And then Regina started and launched her company, and she went off and moved to Arizona. And then Steve was able to leave his job. He moved up north and started his company. And I see him on social media. He's doing like ice plunges with his clients. Just it's so cool to see. But everyone was kind of in very difficult situations, in a sense that, Steve, for example, was really attached to his family's business. James, who loved the marketing company, that what he was doing. Regina, who enjoyed being a law firm, but again, she was super successful at being a lawyer, but wanted more for herself. And you'll hear more of her story when she's on the show. But the reason why I bring this up is because, again, here I am surrounding myself with people, setting goals, setting intentions, and seeing other people grow. And to be able to look back and to be able to see what each of us have all been able to do since that time in that room is amazing. But it started because we were surrounding ourselves with each other. We were surrounding ourselves with people who wanted to do more. And again, that would have never happened had I not paid to go to that conference where I connected with my friend Brian, who then introduced me to Bill and James. And I bring up Bill again because Bill is absolutely crushing it also. I mean, he's got an amazing organization, grew massive. He was on the show. He talked about, um, extreme ownership. And, right now he's got like Grant Cardone and he's had amazing people on to his YouTube channel. And he helps lawyers grow their business through Facebook ads and Google ads, different marketing strategies, but just a truly incredible human. And we still stay connected. He actually offered me a job at one point, but we decided it was best. I knew that I wanted to do my thing, and it wasn't gonna work out. And he respected that decision. But again, I digress. The point is that all of these people, I'm still surrounding myself. I see them on social media, engaging with them, doing incredible things, making incredible decisions, and being able to connect and network with them just has insane potential. And this was just to the beginning for me. I mean, I'm talking a little bit about the future of what some of these individuals that I connected with and what they've been able to do. And but it all started again at that event. And then another event that happened was, I had the opportunity to go to this event called the Kajabi Summit. And Kajabi is a software that I use, and I also help other people to use the software as well. Anyone who's looking to host videos and training courses, memberships, you can even do it for employees as well if you want to be able to give them training, like your staff, and have them trained. Amazing software. But this event was so cool because, again, here I am. I'm surrounded with all of these amazing people that are looking to build their business online. And that was a starting point for me too, where I was getting all of these ideas, and I was listening to all these people and how they were able to grow their online businesses, and just taking massive pages of notes, connecting with as many people as I possibly can. And one of the speakers there was James Wedmore, and I was extremely excited to see him. One of the things that I did for the event was I had one goal while I was there, and that was to get my picture taken with James Wedmore. And so every single person that I saw, I said, "Hey, I want to get my picture taken with James Whitmore. Like that's who I'm looking to see. And so I would introduce myself and then be like, so like, who are you excited to see? You know, and then they would say, and then they'd ask me, and I'd say, yeah, my only goal is to get a picture with James Whitmore. And I kept telling everyone that I met at the conference. And eventually I told the right person. He said, I can make that happen for you. And it was so cool for him to be able to make that happen. And because he just like he knew James personally, so he was able to reach to one of James' team members and just like make it happen. And I remember like waiting outside for him to come. There was all these people that wanted to get a picture with James as well or talked with him, but it was like no, he's got an appointment. Like I had an appointment with James. But anyway, the reason why I bring that up is because James has a program called Business by Design. And I invested, thousands of dollars into Business by Design, which turned out to be one of the most incredible investments I had ever made, not just from the training program itself, but because of the community and the people that I was surrounded with. It was truly amazing to have this community because, again, people paid to be a part of this community. And when people are willing to pay to be a part of things, the community is so much stronger. You value the community that much more. When you put your money down to be a part of a group or, pay for coaching, it just has such a greater impact. The transformation is in the transaction. James always says that. And that's a super powerful thing to be able to do. And through this community, I started networking and meeting with more and more people, connecting with other online course creators. So much so that then I end up going to the event, BBD Live. And if you're a follower of the show, you know that there's been a lot of people in that circle, in the James Wedmore circle, guests that have been on this show, many of which I met at that event. Because again, here I am surrounding myself with all of these people that are wanting to do more. And it was just so funny because being at the Achievers Conference and being at the Kajabi Summit and being at BBD Live, it's just like this incredible, amazing feeling of this is where I belong, and so what a powerful, impactful thing to realize, an impactful realization to have of really feeling, wow, this is where I belong. Because a few years back, I was at a concert and I was in there and I had the exact opposite feeling, and I said I don't belong here, and I ended up leaving the concert in the middle of it just because I felt like I wanted to do more and I didn't belong where I was. That's a different story, but you get the idea of being where I was and being with these people, surrounding myself with such incredible, influential people that want to do more, and being able to have and connect. And one of the people at the event that I met, he wanted to do like a little mastermind or accountability partners. And so that event was in 2019. And me and my friend Todd, who's awesome, and I'm working on getting him on the show as well. And he listens regularly, so shout out Todd. Um, Me and him talk every single week. And again, having that accountability, having that somebody that you just talk about your ideas and what you're working on, and we've been able to help each other out. Things that he's done before. He's been able to share his wisdom from programs that he's been a part of. I've been able to help him with different areas and like Facebook ads and things of that sort, and recommending certain things that he can do. And so it's been so cool again to have that. And the fact that we've been doing it for over a year now just goes to show the impact that it can make, having that consistent call, having these consistent connections with these people and these conversations. And then to circle back, because I joined James Wedmore's program, I ended up getting an opportunity to become one of his coaches. I applied to be a coach and I was selected out of a handful of people. There was like 180, 200 people that applied. And I was selected out of like 25 people. And so being a part of this community now all of a sudden, now I was a part of from the BBD group, but now I was even a smaller group of people of now trained coaches by James. And many of these members have already been on the show. They're just truly incredible people. They've helped me, coached me. I've coached them. We continue to have those conversations, and it's just so amazing what can happen when you surround yourself with good coaches as well. Somebody that can ask the right questions, that someone that can help you see the blind spots, somebody that can help reveal these things that maybe you're not seeing, helping you to overcome some things that are holding you back. And I have the same thing. It happens. I need a coach. I have coaches. I have multiple coaches. I have friends that are coaches. I have coaches that I'm paying for. Um, so many different things that have helped me. And again, this is what's helped me to get to the next level, is having these people motivate me, having these people to coach me to get to that next level, and really being able to have them again reveal the things that we are not seeing ourselves. And it's just so impactful, and I cannot express this enough in really what can be done when you're willing to surround yourself with people. So, depending on where you are in your life and where you are in your business, I cannot express this enough. Start with the books. You're here, you're listening, so you're already one step ahead of the game. You're listening to podcasts, you're listening to audiobooks, you're hopefully changing your social media, going through a social media audit where you're really checking who you're following and what you're following, things that are going to inspire you, things that are going to help you get to the next level. And then hopefully, you're looking at coaching opportunities to work with a coach, or group coaching programs, communities of people that you pay for to be a part of, can really have a lasting and amazing impact. It's why I created my group coaching program, which is called Lead Machine Academy. That's what it's all about, is being able to be coached by me through a number of areas of digital marketing, but also understanding that I'm a trained coach, and I'm going to help you to see your blind spots and things that you're not seeing, so that you can overcome them and get to the next level. And I noticed that, courses and these things are great, but we don't need more knowledge. What we really need is accountability. We need somebody to help us see our limiting beliefs, somebody to help us to overcome obstacles that are coming up in our business and often our life, because they are tied very much together. And so, that's kind of been my inspiration. And this isn't meant to be, a sales pitch for the group coaching, but it just goes to show you like what is possible when you have these people in your life. And so if you're not part of a group, you're not part of a mastermind or group coaching, I cannot express this enough in how much this will completely change your life and business. And again, you don't have to listen to me. Again, quoting Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, you are the 5 average if you spend the most time with. And what's really interesting about this part too is I heard this in a book recently by Benjamin Hardy, Willpower Doesn't Work. He's all about the environment. And one of the things that he talks about is that it's not just those 5 people, but it's who those 5 people are surrounding themselves with. So it's the 5 people that you surround yourself with, but then also those 5 people and who they surround themselves with. And it's like this law of compound. It's the law, understanding that we're all connected and influenced by the people that we surround ourselves with. And you've heard the quote, "Don't be the smartest person in the room." This is what this all goes to. This is what this is about, is being in that room with people who are smarter than you, people that are where you want to be, people that are doing things that you're not doing, so that you can then take what they've learned, take what they've done, and be able to do it yourself and get the results that you want in your life and in your business. So I know this is a little bit of a shorter episode, but I hope that you found this extremely, extremely valuable, and really just thinking about what you can do to surround yourself with more people, do more, again, just having that environment of people that are going to help elevate you to levels that you never thought possible. It's worked for me. It's worked for thousands of other people that have followed in the words of Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and all of these other guys that are teaching this, because I think every influencer out there says this thing. It's a well-known thing, but yet so many people don't actually take the steps to making it happen. This will change everything for you if you can implement this. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, let's keep growing together.
Wait, one more thing. I would first like to say thank you. Thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed this message, please take a moment to write a review. By writing a review, it helps people find this message and helps me help more people. And if you really, really liked it and you think this message could help someone else, take a screenshot, share it on Instagram, and please tag me at Nick J. Boni, NickJBoni, so I can show my appreciation for you. We can all win by helping each other grow. Thank you. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.